Morning everyone, Happy New Year to you all. Welcome to sunny Manchester. As you can see, we're on the next to the flyover. What was he doing? What was he doing? Anyway, as we were saying, welcome to sunny Manchester.
Oh, we've got a view of city.
So, the project we're on today is the Pod, quite an iconic small building in Manchester, just on the Mancunian Way. It's been here for 20 years or so. Urban Splash built this as an office, a letting office for when they developed Castlefield. So they put this Pod in place as a marketing suite, and then around 2008, after they'd sold most of the properties in Castlefield, they then rented the space. Ideal spot for companies to be seen, utilise the space. Great advertising over the Mancunian Way, and we're cleaning it, not restoring it, which is a completely different process. So we're going to get it looking a little bit more presentable, get rid of the graffiti, and hopefully for the client who's currently using this, give it a bit of a lift for them. When it was first built, great, but obviously the materials they've used don't particularly weather very well. So as you can see from the staining, we've got a lot of runs and it's almost like lead marks, lead staining, weathering on the panelling. So this is a bit of a challenge. So what we've been challenged with is just trying to give it a lift. It's obviously in a busy part of Manchester, constant traffic going past. So it's got a lot of pollutants all over it, and we're using our DOF steam system to try and rejuvenate the external of the building. We're only going to get it to a certain level. If we really wanted to reinstate the finish, we'd have to go through a full restoration process, and that is obviously something that the client may do in future. But at this moment in time, we're getting rid of the graffiti, trying to make it look a bit more presentable. We've got the challenges of accessing it, making it safe. It's a bit of a thoroughfare, quite busy here. People running, walking the dogs who live in the area. So we've obviously had to make the area very safe. We've cordoned everything off. We've got our access equipment in here. The guys are working hard. We've got the extension pole for the DOF system so we can work safely from the ground. So it's all systems go, and yet another day in the life of NuLife. This is barrier tape, beautiful, red and white, available in many other colours, yellow and black, but we like to use red and white.
Okay, so we're back. It's 2021, we're back at work, it's all stations go. We were back in one day, and then Boris announced a new national lockdown, but fortunately enough, construction and working and things that need maintaining was able to carry on. So today, we're here at the Lowry Hotel in Manchester, where we've got a big project going on restoring the tables, the marble tables in the bedrooms of the hotel. Today, we start in the presidential suite, so let's go take a look. The job today starts here, where we're restoring and repolishing some marble tables. We're doing all the tables in all the rooms of the hotel over the next few days, but let me show you the problem. So as you'll see, Jay's here prepping up, but as you'll see, there's some really bad marks, etch marks on the tables where people have put wine, drink spills. With it being marble, anything that's acidic, it'll etch and damage the stone. So if someone puts a glass of wine down, or a Coke or a juice, and that juice goes onto the marble, it'll etch and damage the marble of the stone. So we're going to grind that out, repolish it using various grades of diamonds and then polishing compound to repolish the surface. And then we've got these glass tops which we're going to place on top to reduce and remove the problem from happening again. The process that Jay's going to be going through on these tables, Obviously there's some damage to the tables from acid etching, from drinks and spills and food and things. So we're going to need to mildly resurface the tables. To do that and create as less mess as possible, we're going to use a small oscillating machine, which will, with the use of diamonds, quite aggressive diamonds first of all, which will abrade the surface and remove the damage. So that's going to make the tables go quite white and quite textured and quite rough first of all, because we're going to use quite an aggressive diamond abrasive to resurface it. And then we're going to use finer and finer diamond abrasives to close the stone up and prepare it for polishing. Once it's prepared for polishing and we've removed the damage and we've closed the stone back up, we're going to use a polishing compound and an 11,000 grit ultra fine diamond abrasive to repolish the table. At that point, we're then going to seal with a solvent-based impregnator, which is going to help protect going forward in case any spills do seep onto the stone. But like we said before, we've got the glass tops now. The hotel have had these glass tops made to stop this problem happening again from drinks being spilt on the tables.
One of the biggest problems we've been faced is obviously getting access to it and being able to utilise the jet wash and the DOF steam system. So we've got our Mute, which is our trusted friend, which gets us into certain places, great piece of kit, but obviously the footprint of it creates problems. So we've had to really manoeuvre ourselves in. Our guys, who are obviously iPad trained, very experienced, we've had to really work hard to get the kit in to give us access to the building, which will be able to see. If you look a bit closer, we've had to manoeuvre the legs. Avoid that, Josh, please. So obviously for the graffiti removal system that we've got various chemicals for different surfaces, but for this particular surface, we're using sensitive graffiti removal. You've got to be really careful because it can certainly dull and damage the finish of this particular cladding. So non-porous. Jay is setting up now, so if some does run off, it runs onto the absorbent pad and not leaving stains and taking the graffiti further onto the surface. So we'll do a little test patch now. We'll show you how somebody's already, if you can see here, somebody's already had a go at it with something. A little bit of success, but not brilliant, and hopefully this solution will do the trick. It will be a fairly slow process because we've got to treat it in sections. We can't just paint it on and leave it. We've got to brush it on and wipe it off, brush it on, wipe it off, and work it that way, and hopefully we'll get rid of the graffiti without damaging the surface. We're trialling a couple of the specialist graffiti removal chemicals. We've had the sensitive surface one on, which is fine, but we've also been able to use the spray can graffiti, which is probably a little bit more aggressive. But what we did do, we made sure that we did a test sample. So Jay set everything up, so we had it all padded out so it wouldn't run into any other areas. And he's trialled it, and obviously it's been successful, so we'll be able to use that solution on removing the graffiti. I think I can safely say that whoever's tagged that is, it isn't a Banksy. We've set up our DOF system, because that's what we're going to clean the whole of the external with. To be brutally honest, this needs a full, intense restoration, but for this process it's literally trying to clean the dirt and make it a bit more presentable. We've tried the DOF on the graffiti. Come and have a look at what we've achieved. So obviously we've had the chemical solution, which we've tried, and we've set the DOF steam system up, which is delivering at 150, 160 degrees. Fairly low pressure, but as you can see, it's having an instant effect, and we're able to take the graffiti off without any chemical solution.
So we've managed to remove one lot of graffiti already. Came off quite easily. Just doing it very slowly. Constantly treating it, rinsing it, applying it again. We'll be here all day, so this will be an 8-hour job.
Official break time. NuLife, sponsored by Greggs. It is cold, to be fair, for him not to be having fairly regular breaks. It's a little bit unfair. I'm going to go and sit back in the vehicle now with the heating. It's tactical.
Mad, isn't it? It's scary, really. Yeah, the hotel's shut. It's obviously national lockdown. It's shut. It's a scary, scary thing. It's weird. It's eerie. I've never been in this place when it's closed. So yeah, we look after this on a monthly basis. This is the reception at the hotel, and we repolish it every month. Restored it a number of times over the years, and we'll do it again before we open up again. We maintain all the carpets and upholstery in the bar area. And there's no one here. This is like, it's like #1 hotel vibe in Manchester, and it's just completely empty. It's so freaky. So, you know, as you'll see, the hotel's quiet because we've literally just started. I think today is officially the first day of the 3rd national lockdown, and it's affected thousands of companies, millions of people worldwide. We've been lucky enough to keep going pretty much all the way through this, and we're lucky enough to have work. We're lucky enough to be keeping going, and I'm just, you know, super grateful to all our clients that are keeping us going and having work done, maintained while they're closed. Loads of domestic clients are working in domestic homes. Obviously, with our PP, we've made some massive changes to our COVID policies in the last few weeks since coming back into the new year. So it's a crazy, crazy time. I've never witnessed anything like it. And you know what? We have to keep going. I ain't gonna stop. We carry on the fight. Let's go. The Lowry is a place that we've had a massive connection with for 20 years this year. So 2001 the hotel opened, and we've been a contractor at the hotel since day dot when it first opened. So it's a real special place to me. We've looked after pretty much every surface in this hotel, from the marble floor in reception to the upholstery in the bedrooms to the tables that we're doing today. We're a monthly contract here where we look after and maintain a number of different services. Some of the staff have become really good friends of mine. Some of them are still here from the first day it opened. Others have moved on to other hotels and taken us with them to work in their new environment. So it's a special place. It's one of, if not the nicest hotels in Manchester. A lot of football teams stay here, a lot of celebrities. It's the place to stay when you come to Manchester, I guess. But you can't say any names. Who? Yeah. He's been here for a number of times. Right, come on, let's go, Spielberg.
Hi, welcome back. Sun's shining, but not on us, unfortunately. As you can see, the guys have removed the graffiti now off the side of the pod. So we're just in the process of going to wash this down as best as we possibly can. Don't forget, this is a cleaning process, not a full restoration. So hopefully, I mean, it will only come to a certain level of cleanliness. It would need a full, intensive restoration with a handheld padding, buffing machine and certain chemical solutions, but for this process we're literally cleaning it down. What we've got Jay using the cold water because we've had chemical solution on this lower section, so he's just rinsing and neutralising this lower part, hopefully to negate any staining from the chemical, from the graffiti removal chemical. So my time here is pretty much done. The lads are getting to the end of this front roadside elevation. As you can see from the far side, you can see a discernible difference. We've got rid of the graffiti. We've had the client round who lets the space. They're really happy with everything. So obviously we'll move on to the other side, which is a lot easier to do. We're finishing off here using the extension pole as opposed to the mute, a little bit safer. So I'm going to get back to the office where it's nice and warm, leave these skilled lads to finish everything off, and hopefully we'll get it all done today. Sayonara.
We've ground down now and flattened the surface right out. So we started with a table like this with lots of marks in. So what we've done is we've flattened the surface completely to get rid of all the ring marks and all the splash marks. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the table back to a very shiny finish by going through a grinding process very slowly. So we'll use different grit pads to slowly resurface the table and make it shiny again and make it nice and black. So that's had about a 60 grit finish on it. So then now we'll go up to 120, 200, 400, 800 grit, 1800, and then we'll finally polish it with some polishing powder and a very fine diamond impregnated pad just to give it a nice mirror finish. So this is all marble dust. So we use water to keep down the level of dust in the atmosphere. So it creates this slurry. So you know that you've got a good grind on the table. So it's exactly the same when we do the floors as well. We get this slurry. So we clean it all up between processes, then start with the next process. This is called BFM. It's an oscillating machine. We have different grades of pads for it. We can also add weights to it if we need to cut in that little bit more. We can add a bit of weight to it, but because the tables are so thin, we generally don't use a weight on it. We just use our body to manoeuvre it round. So we're nearly finished prepping this table for polishing. So we've ground it down, brought it right back again till we get to the point where we can finish it off by putting that glaze finish over the top and the seals. So Mike's going to pop back and show you the finished results in a couple of days.
So you may remember prior to Christmas the roof clean in Cheshire. Well, we're back here today. All the moss growth has gone, and I've just spoken to the client. They're extremely happy with the works that have been completed. Did face some challenges with the weather and the amount of moss that was on there, but I think the results speak for themselves. So we're just here to finish off. We're going to take some more footage so we can present a job report to the client so they can sign it off and they're happy, and it'll be a job well done with NuLife exterior building and roof cleaning.
I always get locked out of places, me, don't I? It's like a filming from NuLife. I'm just outside. We're in. Going down anyway. I can't get anywhere. Ah, we're in. We're in. Brilliant. So we're just checking the tables in the rooms that we polished last week. Just wanted to make sure they're all, you know, perfect. Attention to detail, again, is spot on. Area nicely protected, nice and clean, no mess anywhere. Jay's done a great job here. He was here last week for a couple of days, polishing a number of tables in the hotel, and they look amazing. I couldn't ask for any more. So another job down, happy client, on to the next one.
It's obviously knackered, isn't it? I can't even hear anything from the pump. Oh, he's going to go spit. But it's not looking good.